All right, I am in between patients. I am sick. It is a rainy day, but you know what? The kid is at school. The dog is asleep. My husband is not here, so this is the time we've got to record. Um, you don't know anything about me yet, and I realize that's not fair. Like, I'm talking to you, but you should know something about me. My name is Abby. My pronouns are she, her. I am a speech language pathologist. In my fellowship, I worked with a lot of autistic children, working in kind of the peds outpatient population. But then at the same time, I was also working at a pediatric, or where I still do, a pediatric hospital, specifically in the voice clinic. So I specialize in pediatric voice care. That includes voice disorders, which range from vocal fold nodules, paralysis, cough and breathing problems as well. But then I also work at our university hospital, where I also work with voice and breathing and coughing patients, but with the adult population. So I just can't even like begin to explain how much my brain has exploded with knowledge when I get to work with like just the population through the lifetime. Like sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes we do see babies in clinic that they've had heart surgery or they've had injections, or but just watching these very, very young humans and supporting their families on their journey is so special. But then I also get the privilege of watching people in their 90s who are spry and having some swallowing problems. But you know what? It might not get a lot better, but we've got some things we can try to do. And it's just such a joy to get to see this and be part of these people's journeys. I also do a lot with gender affirming voice care, especially in my pediatric hospital. I get all my teenagers, and there is a really high incidence of neurodivergence within the gender non-conforming transgender population, and with being a speech pathologist who specialized, or who spent a lot of time, not specialized, but whatever, who spent a lot of time with the autistic population. I just love it. And in my previous life, which I still get to do, I'm a musical theater performer. And one of the things that I really loved kind of discovering during graduate school and then again in my fellowship was how when we're working with autistic people or people who have autism or however they identify, the social pragmatic challenges, the best way to help hone these skills or just improve them, if it's something they're wanting to improve, like I'm really big on affirming care and meeting people where they are. But if there's social challenges, then one of the best things that you can do is engage in theater and do theater classes and perform. Because literally, like, if we're working on social reciprocity, I am a speech pathologist. I should be able to say words. We'll see. I told you I'm also not feeling amazing today, so get what you get. And you don't throw a fit, right? But with it, like when we come to acting and theater and musical theater, even like actors are literally the basis of empathy. Being an actor is to be empathetic, is to literally walk in another person's shoes. And that is the basis of empathy. And when we are learning about empathy and trying on that, then we get to engage those mirror neurons, which grows the social skills. Like there is nothing better. So I am so lucky that my life as a musical theater performer, when it comes to theater and acting and being a director and a teacher of kids and of theater, has such a crossover with my neurodivergent people, which I consider them my four-leaf clovers and or like our stars, right? Stars don't fit in squares or in boxes, they fit on stage. And four-leaf clovers are sought for in nature. They are the abnormal, they are the different. And that is what being neurodivergent is all about, is you are special, we are beautiful and different and unique. And that's what makes this world so amazing. But before, so I went to school for theater and performed and I toured and it was all wonderful. But then when I met my husband, I was like, cool, you're also in theater and this isn't going to work so well because I want a child. We want children. And so that's the way that you actually have a baby, not the way that your parents taught you. Let's go back to school, get a degree, spend a lot of money. So I got my degree in musical theater. Excuse me. Whoo, she's all over the place today. I got a second degree in communication science disorders, a post-baccalaureate degree, and then I got my graduate degree in medical speech language pathology so I could work with voice, and also in grad school learning about that, work with the neurodivergent population. And then it worked. That's how you have a child. So we now have he's 6 years old, 6-year-old boy who has ADHD. And I am so fortunate that I have worked with kids for so long. And I have so many parents who have gone before me and walked this journey that I listen to them and I rely on what they say and I trust them. And even when my child he was less than 6 months old, I had a couple people say like, oh, that reminds me of my kid. And I know that their child also has ADHD and neurodivergence. And so from a very early on, I mean, I remember when my kid was 2 months old, he was a preemie. And so we met with all the other moms and babies of that early group. And he was like pumping his legs and moving. And all the other babies are like worming their little bodies and just being like super cute. My kid's like moving nonstop. It's like, oh yeah, you've been showing this like for forever. But it's hard. ADHD is hard. Neurodivergence is hard to parent. It requires changing the parent. You can't change the kid. The kid is who they are. You guide the kid, you help the kid, you support them, you teach. But all the reactions come from what the parents do. And my husband and I have been on a lot of journeys, and we've had a lot of arguments and marriage counseling and good old therapy and all this stuff. And we're still navigating it. And it's not perfect. It's messy and dirty and not easy, but it's fun. It's exciting. It is not boring at all. And I just need you to know, like, I'm with you on this journey. I see you. I feel you. I support you. I hold you. I want to give you a hug. Like, I know what this journey feels like, whether it's having a voice disorder or being a parent of a neurodivergent person, or even being neurodivergent and trying to walk this world. It's not a place that's set up for neurodivergence. And I still also get to teach singing lessons. And I've been teaching singing lessons to children for years and years. But this year is the first year that I have, I guess, one student who's a kid, and the rest are adults. And we're talking like adults in their 50s and up. And oh my goodness gracious, the stories that we have been told or that we have told ourselves about our voices throughout the years are just usually pretty mean. Oh my goodness, people have said some mean things to people, including kids. Like they say, excuse me, I'm talking kids, say mean things to their parents. Mama, stop singing. I don't like your voice. What that means is I just need some quiet. It does not mean, Mom, that you don't have a beautiful voice. It just means the kid needs quiet. But moms, dads hear that and they think, oh, I have a bad voice. And that's not true. That's not true at all. And if you've been drunk singing karaoke, that doesn't mean your voice is bad either. It just means you were drunk singing karaoke. Like nobody's strong on that one. Been there, tried that. Those notes did not come out on Let It Go. So anyways, this past week, I had the incredible privilege of teaching a woman who, I'm not going to age her. I don't know. She's got some teenage children. So she's older than me. I'm 99% sure. And we've been working together for about a month. And she fights me on things. And she's like, she's more of like an engineer, a thinker, not a feeler here. And she's working on being vulnerable. And she shared with me that she was getting snarky when she's uncomfortable. And I was like, I see it. I recognize you. I see you in there, teenage you. But she hit a high note, and that's not her jam. That wasn't her like place that she didn't want to be. But she hit it and it sounded beautiful. And she started to cry. And she said, I didn't know that my voice, well, she started with, it sounded good. I was like, yeah, it sounded good. Absolutely. She's like, I didn't know that it could. I know that was the goal, but I didn't know it actually could. And it's beautiful. Like I get this incredible gift to work with so many different people. And I really just want to share it all with you and want to hear your stories and connect and go through this journey together. So thank you for letting me into your life. Thanks if you've watched it to the end. This is a lot. Please subscribe. Check out my other videos. Some of them will be a little bit more educational for the voice side or the medical side of things. Some of it will be more like for singing. Some of it, parents, we're going to be talking to you. Kids, I might even be talking to you as well. So you don't know what you're going to get, and they'll keep growing. But thanks for being on this journey with me. Love you bunches.